But this is what's so sinister, because you're not remotely weird anymore.
I am. I'm a freak. Yeah.
Give me 3 freakish things about you.
Hello.
Well, let's pretend.
Okay. Good to see you.
That we've only just seen each other instead of having a chat 3 seconds ago next door.
Never.
Yeah.
Since I last saw you. I was thinking about this actually on the way here. I was like, oh, when was the first time we met? And it must have been the screen test for About a Boy.
Yeah, maybe baby.
Maybe baby? That was what it was.
That's the sort of thing I say.
Okay. It's just been a while since you called me baby. Which I don't actually remember the screen test at all. I think when I'm in like high stress scenarios, I think I kind of just panic and don't take in anything of what's happening. So I don't have any recollection of it, apart from I know that I had to wear a school uniform, but I didn't go to a school that had uniforms at the time. So I like borrowed like my mum's old like boat shoes, but we like painted them with a marker black, and then
which would have been perfect for the character.
What do you remember? Anything else?
I don't remember your audition very well. I just remember we all thought, oh, great, we've got him, he's brilliant. The things I remember most about a Boy was not really anything to do with making the film. It was the cricket match.
Oh, at the end, yeah.
How is your cricket?
Terrible.
I remember that.
But I'm never good at cricket. And I remember once not getting in trouble, but I remember I was a kid, so I was like, I cared about doing the acting, but also there was like a stage next to the one that we were filming on that was open with nothing in it, and we'd run there in between shots, and I'd go and play cricket with some of the crew, and then I came back one time and I was like dripping sweat, and everyone was like, we're ready to shoot, and now this kid's bright red dripping sweat, and we've got to dry his hair and everything, and I was like, oh no, I've made a mistake, I shouldn't have done that.
We all hated you for that.
Yeah. I hated myself. And
I punched
this you. This chat is more about me saying all these things that I'm embarrassed and still think daily about.
Make it good.
I don't know now. What was that time like in your life when we filmed that?
I have no memory at all. I don't know. I reckon it was. I tell you what was happening. I'd done all those, rom-coms. But for About a Boy, I felt, everyone's going to see a whole new side of me. I cut that ghastly hair off, and I'm doing an accent in that film, so I feel less. I felt it was it was something new.
What accent were you doing?
Well, I recall he was slightly kind of London, a bit sort of North London. Yeah. Okay, Marcus,
Yeah,
he wasn't Little Lord Poshington that I've been doing up till then. Why would you want your mum to go out with someone like me?
I don't think you're too bad. I mean, told lies, but apart from that, you seem okay.
I remember the story of that About a Boy. It had been bought by some other people, and they were going to make it into a film. I put my little hand up because I loved the book, and they said, "Sorry, we don't really like you." And then, thrillingly, they lost the rights to the book, and it went to Robert De Niro and his company, and they said, "We like you very much," and that was nice, and we set it up there.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, at the last moment, all the money fell through. It was going to be made by New Line. At the last moment, I don't know, they decided they didn't want to make it. And so we shopped it round. Everyone wanted to make it, including working title, and that's how we did it.
Right, okay.
And then we had to find you. We just needed the right weirdo. There you were.
Perfect.
But this is what's so sinister, because you're not remotely weird anymore.
I am. I'm a freak. Yeah.
Give me 3 freakish things about you.
3 freakish things?
I don't think you're freaky at all. And you're... as far as I can make it out.
Just test me here right now. How many kids have you got?
5.
5?
Yeah.
What's the age? What's the agings?
13 down to 6.
Oh, okay.
That's partly why I look knackered.
I have a 6-year-old, and I understand, why you feel knackered.
Yeah.
I was telling you just before, when I haven't seen you, but I was telling you just before this, I couldn't move my neck for the last 3 days because they were jumping on my back whilst I was screaming, "You can't hurt me," and then I woke up the day after and I couldn't move, and I couldn't swallow, and my neck was, sheer agony. So I get what parenting is, I think, now. Just slowly being broken apart.
Are you quite good?
As a dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am. Are you?
Enchanting is the only word. Enchanting.
That's what the word they would use.
They couldn't use any other. On the back of About a Boy, which did well. People liked it.
It did, yeah.
That was lovely.
Yeah.
Were you immediately scooped up into other things? I think you were.
No and yes. There's that weird period where it was like there was the success of that film, and that gave me like a great start. But then there was also, I was very aware as a kid, everyone talking about the fact that child actors don't make it as adult actors very frequently. And that was something that I'm not as dumb as I might appear, and I was very attuned to that. So it was like this weird part of me where I was like, oh, I want to keep doing this, I like this. But there weren't like tons of opportunities, and there was also this awareness of me of being like, maybe this isn't going to work out, which was quite a strange feeling to take on that young. But this isn't completely about how it influenced my life, but I think it did influence me quite a lot in terms of the person I am and the actor I am sometimes. Because I didn't notice I was doing this, I wasn't consciously doing it, but I did this TV show called The Great where I played the Emperor of Russia.
You were marvellous.
Did you ever think that I behaved and spoke?
I read reviews that said you did, but I don't see that at all.
I wasn't consciously doing it, but I think occasionally there was little things, because it was such an influential part of my life, working with you and at that point and looking up to you and what you did and that experience, that I think there are little triggers that occasionally, it's not an impression of you, but I think there are little things occasionally that they're almost how I have my interpretation of how you would do it. Does that make sense? Because you're so dry and funny and perfect at that sort of comedy.
It's nice of you to say all that.
So dry.
I did watch some of Peter or The Great or whatever it was called, and I didn't see
Catherine the Great. So we can't call it Peter the Great. It's about her. It's her story. But I was
Peter the Great.
That was me. Yeah. Well, I was actually Peter the Third.
Yeah, you were his son. Oh, whatever. Anyway, you were marvellous. But it's funny how, early influences can seep into you as an actor and then re-emerge when you least expect them. You don't even know you're doing it.
No,
My first triumph as an actor was imitating our chemistry teacher, Mr. Hammond, at school.
Yeah.
He always had his hands deep in his pocket. And he'd say, you boys need to come and have a shower. And he has frequently, his delivery, I find it sometimes when I'm struggling with a role, I suddenly realise, I see I'm creeping into Mr. Hammond again. It's like a possession.
Yeah, it's weird how it comes back like that. Completely unrelated, but I saw Toni Collette recently. Well, I worked with Toni, but was speaking to her recently. We were doing some press for a movie, and she told me that her karaoke song is Killing Me Softly.
Oh.
But she was like, oh no, the cool version, the Fugees version. And I was like, I think that's the version that we were doing in the film.
Killing me softly with his song, killing me softly.
Who the hell is that?
You did the 1 time, 2 time and all that, right? When you were singing and playing the guitar?
What does 1 time mean?
That's what they do in the song.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to sing it.
No, go on, sing it. It's very touching and marvellous, that end scene.
Yeah.
Which I cooked it up with the Whiteses, because that's, of course, not the ending of the book.
The singing or like...
The whole concert is invented.
Oh, really?
How's your golf?
Golf is... I'm a 16 handicap. How about you?
That's very poor and disappointing. I would have thought you'd get better.
Well, no, but this is my thing. So Hugh got me my first lessons and my first set of clubs as a rap gift from About a Boy. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And you signed the golf bag, actually, as well.
Charming.
I can't remember what you wrote.
I'm a lovely
I think it was
man.
just your name. You signed your name.
Yeah.
So I have a signed Hugh Grant golf bag.
It's better than the rap present I gave to my son on The Undoing, which was a box of cigars. His mother was furious.
How old was he?
11. So now, 3 films.
3 films. Have you seen
Well,
them?
I think
Have you seen all of
if
them?
you want to get a prize this year, you have to choose one. It's absurd.
I'm not going to choose. I went to see Heretic.
No, we're on
cinema.
you. Well, they did send me the one where the racist, and you were brilliant, and I loved it.
watched that one?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, great! Thanks for watching.
Absolute top film.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm proud of that one. I think it's a good film.
I would vote for you for that. You're marvellous.
I would vote for
And
you.
also, I tell you what is annoying. I don't really like anyone being good in anything. I just feel jealous instead of pleasure.
Yeah.
But your American accent's so good now.
Oh, yeah, it's got a lot better.
Because you live here. Maybe that helps.
And also I found recordings of Bob Matthews, the character that I was playing, so I could kind of locate the exact sounds he was making.
I thought that was brilliant. I watched the trailer of Nosferatu.
It's good. No?
Yeah,
Nice
fill
film.
me. Really fill me.
There is a devil in this world, and I have met him.
But you could never please me as he could.
It's like so cinematic, how it looks, the sound of it, Robert and his whole team are like master. I feel like that movie.
Why did
It's
she
rare
say
that-
to you at one point, you could never satisfy me like him?
Oh, yeah. Almost this love triangle, and she's suddenly horrible to him in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit...
That was a good touch.
I
What
was
do you
like,
think's a better horror film, Nosferatu or Heretic?
They're very different. But I liked Heretic a lot, and you were brilliant in it. Very charming and funny, as always.
Wow.
How did it come about? What were you thinking going into it?
Well, Heretic. Two
With the religious
lovely
aspects of
weirdos
it.
from Iowa
Yeah.
wrote and directed it. And I thought it was quite brave because it's so talky. It breaks all those rules, you know, about films having to have pithy, economical dialogue and be in lots of different locations because it's really only one house. I thought that's a challenge. But I did think I could have some fun with him making him into groovy professor.
I won't keep you if you wish to leave. But I want you to choose which door to go through based on your faith.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like the thing about Heretic was the fun that you were having playing away from the tone of it being a horror movie in some ways, right?
Exactly. I thought if he thinks he's fun and he's quite jokey, then his real aims, his diabolical aims, and what's coming will be all the more unexpected and ghastly. Well, not unexpected, but ghastly.
That's how the tension builds in a nice way. And you get some good laughs.
There's a few laughs, I agree, there's a few laughs.
There's not really too many laughs in Nosferatu, I wouldn't say. Tone-wise, it's very specific because it's that gothic horror, and Robert Eggers is such a master of like creating worlds and tension. For him, performance-wise, it was all about honesty and authenticity, but then also he would give us lots of movies to watch performance-wise, kind of the Soviet cinema and Bergman movies, and he hates when actors move their eyebrows. So there was like specific things in terms of performance that he'd be like, this is kind of keeps you all in.
If they move their eyebrows.
Yeah.
Christ, I will never work with them now. I can't keep my face still for 2 seconds.
The eyebrows ones is sometimes tricky.
Is it true Clint Eastwood only does one take?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
And then goes to play golf?
One take, maybe two, and he's like, doesn't say action or cut, he's just like, whenever you're ready,
I love that.
go, stop.
I have a
Sometimes
bad
that's enough of that.
Pavlovian reaction to action.
You do?
Oh, awful.
Why? What does it do?
The worst words for me are turning over or rolling. Oh, I can't bear it. It seize up immediately. Action is awful. Stephen Frears
Yeah.
has a very bad action habit.
Really?
Yeah, he goes, and 1, 2, 3, action! He goes, look, cut. Stephen, this is an intimate little scene between two people, and that's just terrifying.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
don't, sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right.
No,
right, okay. Right, off we go again. 1, 2, 3, action! He can't stop. Anyway, I find all those very frightening. So I would have loved Clint.
No, you'd appreciate how he works, because also sometimes if you're just hanging out and sitting there, he'll just start, you won't even notice that he's started the cameras rolling. And like, it's all very calm and relaxed, and he's a very easy come, easy guy, which I think is what makes him special as a filmmaker. It's that ability to kind of trust the process, but also the audience, where he doesn't try and force anything, you know? It's just very simple.
Yeah,
like,
God.
This is it.
And also because the older I get, or as the years roll by with filming, keeping everyone calm is 90% of the battle, particularly actors, I think.
Yeah.
Just keep them calm. Keep them loose. Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, I noticed that I've had a lot of high-maintenance girlfriends in the past who used to get photographed by very famous fashion photographers. And you notice the common denominator in the really famous fashion photographers was how easy the whole thing was.
Yeah.
You know, there would be Patrick de Marchelier. You know, it's nice when you sit there. It's fun. You know, not on the set or anything. He just come and snap, snap, snap.
Yeah.
Very calm, lovely.
Do you think you're a calming presence? I feel like you're no, but on set, do you think I feel like...
Did I calm you on About a Boy?
I don't remember. You probably did.
I was quite calm on that one, I think.
But I feel like you care. I remember you caring and wanting to do maybe more takes and try things, and like, I wouldn't say, the word I'm thinking of is neurotic, but I wouldn't say neurotic. I would say like that you just care and you want it to be good.
You see, in those days, I think, it was a big change for me when I realised it's a mistake, I think, for film actors to think, this is how I'm going to do it. I was excellent doing it in my trailer just now or in the bathroom last night.
Yeah.
And I must get that one when we roll camera. That's a huge mistake.
Right.
And I did that for years. And I think it's much better to have some vague idea of what the scene's about and know the lines and then completely make it up when the camera rolls.
Yeah.
That was a big change for me.
That was something, surprisingly, that Clint Eastwood was kind of similarly minded with, where I remember one time him walking by me on set and he said, what are you thinking about the scene, or what are you thinking? And I said, absolutely nothing. And he said, that's my kind of actor. Walked on, that was it. And I was like, perfect. There we go. Let's roll it. So there is something about that, I think.
Well, yeah.
I have a film of Hugh's that I think is underappreciated. Mickey Blue Eyes.
Oh, I love people who love Mickey Blue Eyes.
I love that movie so much.
It's not perfect.
I think that's an underappreciated one from your catalogue.
Mobsters in New York still come up to me and like
they?
that film. Yeah, they do.
Really?
Well, we worked with a lot of mobsters when we made the film.
Yeah.
They were great. They could do anything. We had
Because
a
they're
man called
mobsters?
Rocky Sausage. Because he used to be a butcher or whatever. And he was our liaison man with the mob. And he was just brilliant. If you were filming on the streets of Manhattan and there was a problem with helicopters ruining the soundtrack, he'd say, give me the phone. And he'd take the phone, he'd call JFK, the control tower.
Yeah.
No helicopters, all gone.
I like to imagine them picking up the phone at the other end and being like, Rocky Sausage is on the phone again.
They were brilliant.
Do you have any cool nicknames like that? Do you have a Rocky Sausage?
I wish. That'd be a good one. I had, and my girlfriend at the time, she was so good with the mob. She was producing the film.
Yeah.
And she was brilliant with these beautifully dressed, quite high-powered mobsters.
Yeah.
She used to sit on their knee and say, now tell me where you get your nails done, because they're so much better than mine. They loved her.
That's a classic film. I love that one.
Yeah, what do you get stopped for then? X-Men.
Not too much X-Men, because I was mostly in like big blue furry
True.
prosthetics for that.
True.
I don't really know if I get stopped that much. I think normally it's mistaken for somebody else if someone's stopping me, or thinking that I went to school with them or something. And then maybe like, no, I don't think so, sorry.
Are you nice when you're stopped? And someone says, can I have a selfie?
I am. I think I'm nice.
Yeah.
I think so. Because I'm like, you know what, this is 10 seconds out of my day, and if it makes their day better, even if they think I'm someone else, then that's fine. That's getting off my back most of the time.
I ever tell you about the man, I stopped for petrol somewhere in Long Island, and the guy I was paying said, you know what, you look like that Hugh Grant. No offense.
None taken?
A lot taken.
Let's do this again. Are you free next week, maybe, for another recap?